So in the last video, we were talking about oil being over 80. Now we're over 90. This is your headlines. U.S. oil tops 90 a barrel for the first time since October 2023. And I'll just be frank with you guys. If you remember the oil crisis of the 70s, if you're old enough to remember this stuff, it's kind of looking like that. And if you see the daily price here, WTI crude up 12.85%. Brent crude up 9%. This is in one day. So this is even updated from the headlines. So Brent crude's at $93, WTI at $91. Jeez. And then the headline up here is U.S. gasoline surges to highest under Trump as Iran war roils oil market. This is what it looks like in terms. Oh my God. Okay. U.S. oil prices surge above 90 a barrel, plus 14% of the day, now the highest since October 2023. We expect U.S. gas prices to be above $3.50 a gallon by Monday, and you can see the price chart. It's just going straight up. What's going on? So first, we talked about in the last video also, Qatar, the energy minister, comes out and says basically the world economy will shut down. That was like his words. After that, now we're talking about literally shutting down production, because I think the idea is that if the tankers are trapped in the Gulf, then there's nowhere to put the oil, right? Like you need tankers, take the oil, go out, empty tankers come in, grab more oil, et cetera, right? So where are you going to put it? From the energy minister in Qatar, if this war continues for a few weeks, GDP growth around the world will be impacted. Everybody's energy price is going to be higher. There will be shortages of some products, and there will be a chain reaction of factories that can't supply. That's coming from Qatar, okay? Then they're talking about this on the BBC. Quote, I think we're on the edge of trying to understand if this is a very short energy crisis with limited implications, or if we're at the beginning of a massive economic and energy crisis. If this lasts for more than 2 weeks, then the likelihood of seeing very significant implications for the energy system and global macroeconomic outlook are much higher. And we're just like in the first week, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down or backing down on the war front. Trump, the headlines then, Trump says he wants Iran's unconditional surrender, rules out deal. So the supposed, most awesome businessman in the whole world, who wrote The Art of the Deal, supposedly. I mean, it's all BS, as you know, saying no deal. Okay. This is actually Trump in the White House. There'll be no deal. There's the White House unconditional surrender. There'll be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. After that, and in selection of the great and acceptable leaders, because he wants to be involved with the picking of Iran's leader. So you have to surrender unconditionally, and then he has to pick your leader. Good luck with that. And many of our wonderful and very brave allies and partners will work tirelessly to bring Iran back from the brink of destruction, making it economically bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Iran will have a great future. Make Iran great again. MIGA. He's actually really writing this. It's so dumb. I mean, every day it's like, how much more dumb can you get? It's dumb, scary, and absurd all at the same time. And I mean, if you told me like this was a South Park episode, I mean, that's definitely a plot of a South Park episode. But this is really what he's writing. Iran will have a great future. Make Iran great again. MIGA. Okay, great. Then he sends his minions on TV. Check this out.
I think we all know that when you have a kinetic conflict like this, whether you want to call it a war or not, we are putting energy, resources, money into this. It is going to take a little bit of sacrifice on the part of Americans. There is a political component to this. We have the midterms coming up. Yeah. The Democrats have tried to make it about affordability. That will certainly play into that. But I think the average American in my district understands the need that we decapitate this terrorist regime and make sure it never grows ahead again.
So the message from the Republicans is, well, the Democrats are going to want to talk about affordability, and yeah, they can do that, but we're going to be talking about sacrifice. You got to sacrifice, Americans, right? And we really got to go fight terrorism. I guess that's their message. We'll see if the Republicans fall for that. I mean, you never know with those MAGA people, but I mean, gas prices are through the roof. Starting Monday, I guess 350 is what the one projection was. Here's more. This is Hassett talking about the oil situation.
What's your assessment of the disruption we're seeing to supply in the Middle East?
Well, our expectation is that we've got our eyes on the horizon, that we know that sometime soon we're going to have a much more stable Venezuela with high stable energy output, a much more stable Iran with high and stable energy output, which is going to be very good not only for energy markets but for risk premia around the world. Don't forget that this move against Iran is happening because they've promised to destroy us all. Like if that's not something that affects risk premia, I don't know what is. And so I think with an eye on the horizon.
Okay, so he's promising you we're going to have a stable Iran real soon, and yet Iran's also promising to destroy us all. And he says that with like a smile. Oh, they're all going to destroy us all. Oh, great. I mean, this is just completely whacked out and disconnected. This is Hassett. He always says like the most bizarre crap. Thank God he's not our Fed chair. They were actually talking about him to be Fed chair, if you can believe that.
Then you can see that this is a huge positive for the global economy and global markets. The question is, when will the current near-term disruption end? And that's something that'll be decided by the military. And of course, will be some uncertainty about when they decide to move, in part because the uncertainty protects the lives of American soldiers.
Kevin, in the meantime,
but we expect that it'll be resolved, quite soon.
As you see, we're starting to see a hit to production. Because we can't move the oil, we're breaching storage capacity in select producers right now. You saw some of that with Iraq earlier this week. The Journal reporting moments ago, we're seeing the same thing in Kuwait, and UAE and Saudi Arabia might follow.
And that's the discussion, right? So production is going to get cut, as we talked about, and more countries are going to announce. And then Hassett was going on that the military will decide when the war is going to end. But it's not like the U.S. military can say, okay, guys, we're so awesome, please surrender. I mean, I guess that's Trump's strategy, just surrender and we'll pick your leader. I just don't think it works that way. I mean, I know it doesn't work that way. This was just announced just a few minutes ago. Kuwait cuts oil production as storage fills up, as they were just talking about that. And regarding the war front, there is talks now that will we be sending troops. So this is what it is. It's 82nd Airborne Division from the Washington Post just a few minutes ago. Cancellation of Army exercise fuels speculation about Mideast troop deployments. So basically, I guess we'll know within 18 hours or something like that if they're going to be deployed to the Middle East. So, change of orders, delay the training exercise. That's essentially what the news is. And then with Trump giving the unconditional surrender, I didn't want to pick your leader. All to say this, it doesn't bode well, and that's why you see the markets then saying, yeah, we have an energy oil crisis here. Headlines also then, this would be New York Times, live update. Trump says there will be no deal as Israel unleashes wave of attacks on Iran. So then Israel's just attacking more. I mean, this is where we're at. On top of that, if you thought the oil thing was bad, you also have the jobs report, which we're overlooking, but this was a surprise to the downside. I'm even surprised how bad it was. U.S. economy sheds 92,000 jobs in February in sharp slide. Not only do you have that, you have unemployment ticking up 4.4%. It was way worse than anyone had expected. I mean, we knew things were bad, but I think we were expecting 50,000 to the upside, ended up being 92,000 to the downside. And I wouldn't be shocked if there's a revision later that it's even worse. This is Hassett then trying to defend it. Listen.
Are there enough asterisks in Jim's words to make this number make more sense?
Well, I think, Jim's right that there have been so many strong indicators this month that it's something of a surprise, but there's some weather, there are strikes on the West Coast, and I think that we also have this birth-death model, the change in the procedure at the BLS. And so I think what we need to start doing with these jobs numbers, at least on the payroll side, is take the average over a few months. And if you take the average over a few months, we had a surprisingly positive one last month and a surprisingly negative one this one. But on average, it's about what we expect to be seeing because immigration has gone down by so much that break-even employment is probably in the sort of 30 or 40,000 jobs a month range. And so, yeah, I think it's consistent with everything else we're seeing, which is that the economy is really strong.
So according to Hassett, the economy is really strong. You're all rich. Everything's great, right? And then this is what the expectations were, as I was just telling you. So the market was thinking 55,000 jobs to the plus. It ended up being 92,000 jobs negative. Unemployment, the estimate was 4.3. It came in at 4.4, so it ticked up. You did have hourly earnings go up a little bit, but this is just would add more concerns to inflation. And then you also have something like this. Manufacturing payrolls dropped to the lowest in 4 years. So remember, Trump is promising you that you're all going to get your factory jobs back, but apparently not, right? Lowest in 4 years, manufacturing payrolls. You also have slowdowns in construction and transport warehousing. Also saw declines that could be from the weather. You had declines in healthcare, which is really concerning. I think there were strikes involved with that. Also, you have weather. And then you have the participation rate, lowest level since 2021. Basically, just all across the board, any sort of number that you look at, it's worse than we expected. And I wasn't thinking it was going to be great, but it was even worse. And then you have the whole Trumpy leadership and the war in Iran, and it's just escalating. It doesn't seem to be any end in sight. So that's what's going on. I'll keep you guys updated on this stuff. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and let us know what price of gas is in your neck of the woods. And are you at 350, which I guess could happen by Monday. And I'll keep you updated, and I'll catch you on the next video.